If there's one thing I've noticed ever since this game came out, it's content creators hyping up one specific shotgun, the Romero 77. Just look at all those videos calling it the best shotgun in the game. But, in my opinion, it is actually the worst shotgun you can play in Hunt Showdown 1896. Instead of focusing on feelings and opinions, let's break down the actual facts. And I can guarantee you that you did not know 90% of the facts that I'm gonna show you today. First off, let's look at the stats that make the Romero look good on paper, but are actually deceiving.
Damage!
On paper, the Romero has a base damage of 220, the highest of any shotgun in the game. The next highest damage is the Spectre with 213 damage. On paper, it sounds good, but here's the catch. DPS. The Romero's base rate of fire is 16, the slowest of all shotguns in the game. On top of that, it only fires once before it needs to be reloaded. So if you don't land a kill shot, you're in big trouble. Hunt Showdown is a team-based game. Most of the time, you will be fighting 2 or even 3 people at once. Against a single opponent, the Romero works fine. But if multiple people push you at the same time, or if you miss, you're probably going down.
Reload speed.
The Romero reloads in 3.4 seconds, the fastest reload of any shotgun. But this number is misleading. Reload speed is measured as the time to fully reload from empty. Let's compare. The Romero 77 reloads in 3.4 seconds. The Cardwell Rival 78 reloads fully in 4.7 seconds. If we divide reload time by ammo count, the truth comes out. The Romero is actually the slowest reloading weapon by ammo count. It gets even clearer with the Romero Alamo variant. It only holds 5 shells, yet it reloads slower than the Terminus, which has a total ammo count of 7.
Muzzle velocity.
The Romero does have the highest muzzle velocity of all shotguns in the game. It is 450 meters per second. In simple terms, muzzle velocity is how fast does your bullet travel over time. The most effective range of the Romero is 15 meters. So if we use those two numbers and we calculate it, we see that the Romero reaches its target at 0.033 seconds. Now let's compare that to the slowest muzzle velocity shotgun in the game, the Cardwell Rival 78. It has a velocity of 400 meters per second. The most effective range is 12 meters. If we divide those two numbers, we get a travel time of 0.030 seconds, which means there is a difference of 0.003 seconds between the slowest and the fastest shotgun. Now, what does all that mean? Absolutely nothing, because it is a shotgun. Most fights happen under 10 meters, so muzzle velocity doesn't really matter here.
Spread.
The Romero has a spread of 20. The next closest is the Spectre with 25. This stat is actually huge, because the farther your enemy is away from you, the fewer pellets will hit him, if the spread is large. In this category, the Romero is actually the best.
Ammunition.
The Romero can take 2 different types of ammunition into the game. This makes it far more versatile and a legitimate option.
Price.
The Romero is dirt cheap, with $6,600. And since you can always recruit a free hunter that comes with the Romero, you can say it's basically free.
Zusammenfassung.
As you can see, most of the stats of the Romero are basically the same or straight up worse. So, no, it is not the best shotgun in the game, despite what people keep saying to you.
But I like the Romero, how am I gonna play it then?
First off, it's absolutely crucial for you to work on your movement. Like I said, the Romero only gives you 1 shot, and Hunt Showdown is not always the most reliable game. You need to be able to pull off quick maneuvers while reloading. As you can see in this clip, every time I push someone, I do a sharp 90-degree turn after shooting. This lets me move faster to a new position, and it often causes the enemy to either miss or hit my arm or legs instead of my body. And since arm damage is heavily reduced in this game, it is a vital and important trick you need to keep in mind when playing a Romero. It is also very important to wait till your enemy does a crucial mistake. It sounds simple, but let's look at this situation where I fight an Aftermath. Noch eine Aftermath. Ja, hier. Hab ihn. If I had rushed him head on, I would most likely have died, or if I was lucky, maybe trade with him. Instead, I waited until I heard him reload and then pushed him. If he wouldn't have reloaded, I would have either waited till he made a move or until my teammate pressured him. Playing smart is essential with Romero, because if you miss a single shot, your survival chances drop almost down to 0. Every bullet needs to count, especially with Romero. Both of my teammates are dead, but they give me callouts about enemy positions and that they actually revived their teammate and now it's a 2v1. I realized that they tried to pinch me from both sides, so I use cover as much as possible. I pre-aim key angles where I expect the enemy to appear, and that is exactly how I got the first kill. Immediately after, I move quickly to the left and to the right, mostly to gather more information about the last standing enemy. Is he pushing from the right, or maybe from the left? Or is he waiting for me to make a mistake? When I spot him briefly on my left, I reposition to the cover on the right and keep aiming at possible key angles. This cat and mouse game goes on until I make one crucial mistake. I swap positions with him. My previous spot had way better cover, but now he has the advantage and finishes me off. If I had stayed calm, not instantly shot, and forced him to push me instead, I probably would have won. Lesson learned, don't give up strong positions that easily. Now let's look at a less fortunate scenario. 3 enemies pushing me at once. Here's how I handled it and how I could have done it better. At first, I'm focused on one enemy, but I don't know where his 2 teammates are. That makes positioning more tricky. To make things worse, I get tagged by another team. As I fall back into a house, I realize that the 2 missing enemies are inside of the house with me. I managed to take one down with movement and precision, but quickly die afterwards to the second one because I didn't register at the time that he was right near the entrance. If I had been more calm and aware, I wouldn't have retreated to the same spot where I came from, which basically gave him a clear line of sight. Instead, I should have moved towards him and to the right, staying behind cover so that I can reload and then push him again. Overall, I think it is very clear that movement is very, very vital. Good movement has earned me kills in situations that looked unwinnable, and it also kept me alive far longer than I should have. Next week, we'll look at my favorite shotgun in the game. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss more Hunt Showdown shotgun tips and tricks.